my video on Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, I mentioned that I would be watching The French Dispatch. I guess now that means I have to talk about it. The French Dispatch is the newest film from director Wes Anderson, who also wrote it based on a story he made along with Roman Coppola, Hugo Guinness, and Jason Schwartzman. Story probably isn't the best word for this because there are actually a few stories in this one. The only connection that they have is that they were all published in the last issue of a French branch of a fictional American newspaper, but the way that they're presented makes it feel even more avant-garde. Wow, a Wes Anderson film that feels weird and stylized, who would have thought? It has a cast of many A-listers who elevate the material. The stories they are involved in are all consistently interesting and are told in entertaining style. This is definitely a Wes Anderson movie. This won't be mistaken for anything else, his fingerprints are all over this thing. It has his visual style, and he even went so far as to put maybe half of it in black and white for stylistic purposes. Oh, and there are even a couple animated sequences, particularly a car chase. I don't know how expensive that chase would have been if it was shot in live action, but either way it only makes it look more Wes Anderson. This is how he makes action sequences. Call me hipster all you want, but I really like this one. It might be one of Anderson's most ambitious films. It catered to my weakness for unconventional narratives and stylized sequences, but it's also a very interesting and entertaining movie regardless of those things.
Alouette, gentille alouette,
Unlike other classics, West Side Story grows younger.
West Side Story, the remake of the classic musical from famed director Steven Spielberg, written by Tony Kushner, writer of Lincoln, Munich, and Angels in America. I'm not a huge musical fan, but I love Spielberg, so this was one of my most anticipated films of the year. Although I guess there are times when I question that not a huge musical fan statement, such as earlier this year with In the Heights. In my review of that, I even said that this movie had a lot to live up to, which I guess is additionally true for any remake, especially a movie as revered as West Side Story. But I'm happy to say that yes, it did live up to those expectations. It's been a long time since I've seen the original, so I'm not sure how accurately I can compare the two, but this is an amazing musical. Yes, probably even better than In the Heights. Who would have guessed that one of the greatest directors of all time would make a better musical than the director of Gem and the Holograms? It's a musical that looks like a Spielberg Oscar piece. The atmosphere makes it look like another great 20th century period piece, but not so much that they look out of place in the musical numbers. Said musical numbers are also spectacular. They are very lively and full of cool choreography. They aren't as upbeat as In the Heights, but then again that movie was made to be inspiring, and of course West Side Story is a then modern take on Romeo and Juliet set against the backdrop of gang violence and racism. By the way, those darker themes are of course included, tying this to the modern world without being preachy or even making it a main theme. This film is the source of some minor controversy due to the actions of the star. While I don't condone Ansel Elgort as a person, he was still in a great movie. One of my favorites of the year. Even if this isn't remembered in the same vein as the original, I think it will be remembered as one of the better musical remakes out there. And also, this will be my last video out this year. Be on the lookout for my most anticipated movies of 2022.